Hi guys, welcome to Aquascaping on the Fly Living Art Creations. I'm Anthony, your host and content creator. What we have today, we are still now working on our Trinity Tank Series builds. Now this is a full tutorial with dedicated videos just on a couple of topics about the series itself. And so I thought with this one, I was able to set up to where now you can see how the tanks are going to look next to one another. And also, I've put the lighting on for you guys to see that as well. And I've done a separate, the shelf that they're going to be housed on, I've kept the Hardscape hopefully as close to what I had it in the tank as possible so that I can just kind of place it down when we get ready, because that'll be on another build. But I really wanted to start first with why did I start with these are 10-gallon tanks, and they're 20 inches long and they are 10 inches wide and they're 12 inches tall. Number one, it really was necessity. You know, on the channel, we're doing everything here from an extreme budget conscious aspect. This is the first piece of wood that I found, and from this piece right here, the series was created. And knowing the size of this, I wanted it to be a dominant feature. So that's really why I went with this size of a tank. Initially, to start out in the series, I wanted to do like a nano tank or something like that, something a little bit smaller, that it's easier for us to contain and easier for us to maintain as far as beginners. But when I saw this, I knew that I had to jump up to at least a 10-gallon. And I do want to put shrimp in it, so I wanted to make sure it was large enough to have some shrimp in it. Now, I purchased my tanks on sale at PetSmart. PetSmart was running normally would run it every other month, 50% off open stock. And so the tanks for me cost $15. That's a no-brainer. Yes, it does have the rim and it has the base on it, but I need it on there for like 3 reasons. Number one, this shelf is bolted through, and you can't see it, but there's bolts that come up through here to the top. I could not place my tanks side by side with the bolts there unless I had the lip that's at the bottom of it. The lip at the top, as you can see, is already serving one purpose. It's already holding our lights intact, because I want this to be a streamlined look. I'm looking for a very professional look. I'm not looking for us to have a lot of clutter, and I'm looking for something that we would consider this to be an art install. So that's one of the reasons why I'm leaving the top on. A second reason is that the Hardscape for this tank, which is off camera because it's very large and it's tall and it comes out and it comes all the way to the top of this, I can prop it in here angle to angle on this tank and it stays in perfectly. I won't have to glue anything to it. So that was another reason why this is going to come in really handy. And the third reason, I do want to put some aquatic plants growing, not aquatic plants, I'm sorry, house plants growing out of the tops of my aquariums. And this just gives me a nice little plastic lip that whatever I want to attach to this, I can, whatever I come up with, because I'll come up with some kind of a DIY or reusing pots or something like that to put the plants in until they get big enough to where they can like float a lot easier, or maybe attach it to part of the structure that's already inside there. But for me, it was budget. I didn't want to go any bigger than this because this is a tutorial series and I'm new at this. I've not done one of these before. And remember, we are doing planted tanks, no tech. So I wanted to make it sort of as easy and seamless as possible. Now, the display itself. The display really all just came to me at once. I had sourced what it would be like to build not build, but buy pre-made structure. And the pre-made structures were just way too expensive because I knew I needed something elevated on this wall. This is the only wall I have to work with. I needed something elevated to put the tanks up here and for my terrariums to be housed here as well, because the channel does a lot of terrariums, and a work spot to build from. So I remodeled my kitchen here. By the way, I did all the remodeling here myself, so the flooring and kitchen and everything. And I I had all of this left over. So starting with the light fixture here, I created this. This is hollowed out logs. That's a closet organizer shelf I didn't use. And I had leftover spotlighting that I put inside there. So that zero cost. The countertop from IKEA, I already had. This is just over 8 feet long. All I had to buy for this were the hinges to mount it to the wall, and then they sell adjustable metal legs, so I could have any height I wanted. So it's got metal legs. I had to buy the curtain because I've got grow lights under here that are quite bright. And so if I'm going to watch TV or something like that, I needed to have something to shield that. So I only had to purchase the hinges and the legs and use this. This was left over from also my kitchen remodeling. The nice thing is I had a 6 foot wide countertop left over. I was able to build this shelf, a mantle, and a shelf that's in the hall area, all that can display stuff. So again, I only had to pay for the L brackets that bolted into the wall for this. So this was free, except for that. And then what I did up here is, since I'm going for an art install and I'm going for one that's inspired by Mother Nature, I went out and found some limbs that I fell in love with and attached these directly into the studs, into the wall. And then the lighting that I'm using here is the same lighting that's here and the same lighting that's under here as well, which comes with this really nice, if you haven't seen the lighting channel yet, it has a 1 inline timer right there. It's just one timer. It's got 4 light settings and 3 timer settings, and I love it because if this is too bright, we can turn either this down or this down. Like let's say because the tanks are brand new and maybe there's too much lighting for the plants in the beginning, we can adjust it so hopefully we won't lose any plants because of that. But I've added to this sphagnum moss that I picked up on layover. And then I just added some air plants that I bought online. And I'm just trying to create an integral balance between here and going all the way down so that everything looks planned and orderly. And if I were doing it again, I would have made sure I had outlets on this wall right here. That's the one thing. You need outlets for everything when you're dealing with any kind of lighting in your tanks and all that. Now, fortunately, we're doing no tech, but I am going to have something that's going to move water in the tanks because I like it when a tank has motion at the top. I think it makes a much prettier light cascade when it does. So I did buy some little aerators that is just going to move water around in each one of the tanks. So let's talk about budget really quick. So the tank is $15. The entire lighting setup is $45, the entire thing. So that puts it at $15 per tank. And in video after this, we're going to go into placing our hardscape and our substrate in there. The substrate is going to be probably $11 per tank to start because I know it's going to take 1 bag for each. And remember this, because these 3 are going to be housed together like this, we're going to start with this 1 tank here in the middle because whatever its topography is needs to be matched on both sides. And so the flow needs to be continual. So that's going to be the hard part. That's kind of the part I'm scared about because I don't want to mess it up and I want to make sure I have really good elevation and I want to make sure it's very interesting because it's the focal point of the entire room. But also, what I forgot to mention is for this also, the plants that we're going to have growing out of the tanks, these up here are serving another purpose. Some of them I want to vine. So I want to have something up here already ready that I can attach them to so they can successfully grow and give us more of that jungle look. So I hope that answers your questions about why I did the elongated, because I wanted, even though the tanks are only 10 gallon, I wanted the biggest bang for my buck, and I had a 6 foot shelf. So you can see, that's where I've got it right here. It's pretty much going to take up almost the entire 6 foot shelf. I wish I had it just a little bit wider and maybe I would have put a terrarium up there with it that's water inspired because I have one of those in mind that I would like to put with them. But I don't have the space, unfortunately. But The elongated for me was the best choice based on what I found in nature. And when these were all set up, then you kind of understand, oh yeah, you couldn't do a smaller tank. And besides that, nano tanks were out the wazoo crazy expensive. I originally also thought about bowls, and I love the fact that a bowl kind of magnifies the interior, but I really want to do shrimp and maybe some fish, so I knew that a bowl was too small because the largest bowl I could get was, I think, 2.5 gallons. I didn't want to spend a fortune. Really, I want to do this, really, if I can, my budget, wannabe budget, is going to be $100 per tank. So right now, you know that we're into it for about $40 when we're talking substrate. I have placed a plant order. It depends on what I'm going to put in there. It's going to be right at my budget, or maybe just a little bit more. Probably this one will come in under budget, and it will help these two. So maybe I'll just average it out. That's probably how I'll do it. So anyway, I hope that answers your questions. Let me know your thoughts and your comments. Thank you for the support from the channel. Right now, we're at 105 subscribers, and I'm loving that. This channel is just, I think right now we're 4 months old. So we're just an infant channel, but I am finding people out there from all over the world, and your comments mean the world to me, literally. The positivity and the feedback I'm getting is amazing. So here's my call to action. To be able to promote my channel to other beginners out there that I think really do need this kind of information, because the biggest thing in this hobby, when I first started researching it, it was budget. A lot of the builds that people are doing cost several $100s, and I'm not talking like $300 or $400. I'm talking $700 to $1,500 to set up a small tank, because what they're putting in it, because the hobby is quite expensive. So I'm trying to do a really big undertaking by slashing that budget, doing my nature walks to find my stuff, and my scavenger hunts when I'm out on a layover, because I am a flight attendant, so I can take advantage of the fact that I travel all over the United States. And sometimes I can pick up something that I can bring back, and give a shout out to my host city that was able to provide that. So the likes kind of gives me a thumbs up that, okay, what you're doing is great. We like this. If you subscribe, that tells the algorithm, oh my gosh, you know, we liked it, we want to see more of this. But the comments is like the trifecta. That's when they see that the moderator is engaging and creating a community online. And to me, that's what it's all about. It's us communicating together what our hopes and desires are for the hobby. So please keep that in mind and keep watching for the next video. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.